Hi, welcome to another edition of Business Bites. My name is David Tighe, the Managing Director of Bauer Media here in Northern Ireland. And each week we catch up with an interesting guest and we talk about business. This week, I'm delighted to welcome Chloe Smith MP. She's the Minister for Disabled People, Health and Work in the UK government. Chloe, welcome to Business Bites.
Lovely to be with you, David.
Well, it's great to see you. So tell us, why are you in Northern Ireland right now?
Well, I'm absolutely delighted to be speaking and joining at the Harkin International Disability Summit this afternoon in Belfast. It's a 2-day event and it's bringing together a fantastically wide range of partners, actually, nationally and internationally, from government and from the private sector and from the third sector. And there's so much to discuss about how we can together help get more disabled people into work, which is my overriding passion.
So what is the current state of play right now with regards to businesses in Northern Ireland accommodating those with a disability when it comes to employment? Do you think we're getting there, or is there still work to do? What have you got from the conference?
Well, I think there's been progress made, but there is more to do. So if we look at actually the national level, if you look at the overall pictures, you can see some really encouraging progress. In fact, I'm absolutely delighted to say that over 1.3 million disabled people have moved into work in the last 5 years. Now, I draw out that statistic in particular, actually, because in fact, we set ourselves a goal, the UK government set ourselves a goal of helping 1 million people do it in 10 years, and we've smashed through that in 5. Now, the credit for that, of course, belongs fairly widely, and I think it's really important to say that, in fact, it's collaboration that gets that happening, and of course, disabled people themselves are at the very centre of that. But it's also true to say that actually at the Northern Ireland level, I think there is more that we can help do here. So, for example, just over 1 in 3 disabled people in Northern Ireland are in employment, compared to over half in Great Britain. And if you look at the employment rate, then you can see that that's unfortunately actually the lowest of any of the UK regions. And in turn, all of that compares to an employment rate of 80% for the non-disabled population. So there you can see we've got a lot more to do to help disabled people compared to non-disabled people get into work. And I think we've also got a lot more we can do to help work with partners here in Northern Ireland to ensure that there's a lot of opportunity here. Indeed, it's part of levelling up the whole United Kingdom, which is one of our main aims in the government.
And do you think that there's anything specific that might be a reason for us in our part of the world being slightly behind that curve? Is it any specific type of disability that seems to be faring worse than others?
I don't think we're able necessarily to say that, not particularly in respect of Northern Ireland. Although actually, if you look at the rates for employment overall, then you might be able to say that some people with learning disabilities perhaps face the greatest challenges in terms of going into employment. And there's a number actually of really good charities that are also working on that and campaigning really hard in that space, which I think is very important. And then actually one of the organisations I was able to meet this morning is also making a direct contribution there. So you've got the Social Enterprise Now group, which is doing fantastic work in terms of helping people with learning disabilities and actually also various other sources of disadvantage move into employment. And they've got a really cracking story to tell about the energy with which they can do that and the results that they're able to get from their particular training programs, which I really take my hat off to. I think that's fantastic. And actually, there's a lot also that large businesses can do, and I expect to talk to quite a few more of these at the summit later this afternoon too. But I could give you the example of AMS, which is Alexander Mann Solutions. I've just been spending a bit of time with them in their office in Belfast as well, and hearing about how they're also tackling neurodivergence in the workplace. Now, they're a very large firm and they have many offices in which they're able then to put together a lot of resources to really help disabled people not only to start in work, but also to stay and succeed in work. And I think that whole sequence is really important.
So talking of helping, in terms of helping businesses become better equipped, especially, I suppose, smaller businesses who may have had a tougher time over the last couple of years, what kind of schemes or grants may be available to assist employers in trying to do their very best for the disability or the disabled community?
You're absolutely right there, David, to call out that there's a need to help small businesses get their head around this as well as large businesses. But actually, do you know what? The overriding point I would make is that it's in a business's own interest to do this. This is not actually about a kind of charity endeavour, which perhaps it might have been seen as in decades gone by. Nowadays, this is about where an employer is going to find the talent that they need to fill the vacancies that they've got. And I think that is true actually for small firms, often as well as large firms. So the two schemes I would particularly point to, first of all, are access to work. Now, this is a scheme that is a grant. It's available broadly both in Northern Ireland and in the rest of the UK as well. And this is a grant that is about helping employees to cover the workplace related costs that might relate to their disability, and obviously that helps employers as well because it removes a burden from both parties' shoulders. And that's critically important. That is absolutely about helping people have the confidence to start in work, knowing that they'll be well supported, but also then to stay and to thrive in work, which obviously is essential. But there's also a further scheme as well called Disability Confident. And I think this is a really good one for firms to take a look at, because it's about helping companies be much more confident in talking to their employees about disability, in supporting them correctly, in being able to be open and aware about disability, in being able to recruit in a way that is confident about disability. And all of that comes right back round to this central point, which is that when you have a labour market, an economy where there's a lot of vacancies at present, that's, I think, generally a good thing because it means there's a lot of opportunity out there. But actually what it means is employers are going to be wanting to look to find talent in places that perhaps they haven't looked before. And that is where a scheme such as that can help them be confident about doing so and supporting employees with disability to, as I say, start and then really prosper in work.
Well, Minister, you've been here, as I said, it's day one of the conference. You've got another day to go. What's been your overall message to companies in Northern Ireland during your visit? I know it's early days still. It's only day one, but what's been your message to the business, and potentially, what have you picked up that could be taken back across the water, because we're very good at exporting great ideas from this part of the world as well.
Well, I mean, I would say, the goal we've got here at this conference, and actually much more broadly, is that we want to see more disabled people move into work. That's true in Northern Ireland, and that's actually true across the whole country, indeed across the world, because this is an international summit. We also want to see a reduction in the disability employment gap, because that's where you then find that point of equality between disabled people and non-disabled people. But governments can't do this on their own, so we're also calling on employers to play their part. There is loads more to be done, and there is the support out there to do it. If you take a look at the Access to Work scheme, if you take a look at the Disability Confidence scheme, those are ways in which that you as employers could find the talent that you're looking for, but also that we can help disabled people right across the UK get the chances that they need and that they are rightly theirs to lead fulfilling and independent lives.
And when will you be happy with how businesses are doing? Is there any specific number or target or a golden moment in your mind that you'll sit back and you'll go, we don't need a minister anymore because the job is done? I'm not asking you to quit, by the way.
Well, there's a small relief. I don't think this job is anywhere near done. There is so much more to do, and that I think lots of us share huge drive and determination to do, because it's the right thing to do, but also it's actually in everybody's interests to do it. As somebody said to me this morning, it's disabled people's time to move into work. And as companies know very well, they need to find talent more so than they ever have before. And what we're talking about here is a way to do that. But look, I mean, I was very pleased to see the 1 million target that I just spoke about. So actually, that was a UK government manifesto commitment that I was delighted to see us bust through. But then there is still more to do, and we're quite open about that. We want to continue to reduce the disability employment gap So that's the gap in the rates at which disabled and non-disabled people are employed. And that has been going in the right direction, but there is a lot more to do there. So I think this is wide open. I really call on employers to do their part through listening to this programme and through the schemes we've been talking about. But I'm also really looking forward actually to sharing loads of great ideas with others at the summit. And I think it's also a matter of great pride that summit's taking place here in Belfast. It's a really great thing for the city.
Well, Chloe Smith MP, Minister for Disabled People, Health and Work, it's been an absolute pleasure having you as our guest this week on Business Bites, and thanks for taking the time out.
You're very welcome.